This is a tutorial on two-color double knitting. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the pattern. If you got here through a search on the internet rather than through the pattern, you can copy this pattern to use. This is a 1 by 15 square across and 1 by 12 rows up and down. The first row is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, and then 5. And you can pause this and copy this pattern. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to double knit this pattern so that you have this nice selvage here, and this sort of a end. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you will start with a slip knot. And you can either hold it or put it on the needles, it doesn't matter, but you're going to take it out and it won't be counted. The other thing you're going to do is you're going to decide which yarn you're going to use, which color you're going to use for the thumb, and which color you're going to use for the finger. So right now I have the blue over my thumb, so that'll be my thumb color, and I have the mustard over my finger, so that'll be the finger color. And on my chart, on the bottom, I'm going to write a TC, thumb color, on the right side, and an FC on the left side. Okay, so the first stitch is like a normal long tail cast on, and so you'll just go right here and through, and the second stitch is going to be opposite, so you'll go from the far end of your finger through to the thumb. Okay, I'll show you that again. Okay, and you don't want to pull these stitches too snugly, but you don't want them too loose either, because you want that edge to be nice and even looking. And the pattern directions say cast on 15 pairs or 32, 15 pairs or 30 stitches. Okay. So we'll see what we have here. Okay, I count by twos because it's faster. Since I have the mustard color, here I'm going to take this right out. Since I have the mustard color first, I'm going to only count the mustard. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, 15 pairs. Since I started with a mustard, I want to end with the blue. Okay. Now I'm ready to knit. Okay, you'll notice on the pattern that only the knit stitches are represented. The purl stitches are implied. One of the rules of double knitting in two colors is every knit stitch is followed by a purl stitch in the opposite color, and every row starts with a knit stitch. Okay? Another thing that I like to do is, okay, I have the blue, my TC color here, so I'm going to put the TC color the TC color is going to be twisted to the back, and then I'm going to keep the TC color down below. I'll show you how to knit with one in each hand in a minute. Okay, so the first row says knit 1 with TC, purl 1 with FC, repeat from asterisk to within 2 stitches of the end of the needle and slip 1 with yarn in back, slip 1 with yarn forward. Okay, so I'm going to start, and this is just establishing your background colors, and by background colors I mean the background color that is facing you when you're knitting. Okay, so when you knit, both strands of yarn are going to be in back of the needle, and you'll knit, and then you'll follow it with a purl with both strands of yarn in front of the needle, and then you're going to purl. So, knit, yarn in back, purl, yarn forward, knit, yarn in back, purl, forward. Forward. Okay, now, if you like to knit with one strand in each hand, you're going to have the knit stitches in your left hand and your purl stitches in the right. So, knit with both yarns in back, then put both yarns forward and do your purl stitch. Okay, both yarns in back, knit, both yarns forward, purl, both yarns in back, knit, both yarns forward, purl. Okay. Now, those of you who do the Norwegian purl, oh my God. Alright, knit with both yarns in back. If you're doing the Norwegian purl, you're going to get both yarns like this, still in back of the needle, and then grab the color that you're purling with and purl. I don't particularly like to use the Norwegian purl when I double knit because I have tension problems. But I'll show you that again. Okay, so we're going to knit, and with the Norwegian purl you have both, take up both strands of yarn and then purl. It's a little problematic. Okay, and I can see that I have a mistake forming here. Anyway, I think you get the idea. I don't do it very well, but I just thought I'd put that in there for people who Norwegian knit. The whole idea on double knitting is to keep the stuff that you don't want to show, like the purl bumps and your strands, in between the two layers of fabric that you're knitting. Okay, I'm coming up to the last 2 stitches. Okay, with yarn in back, slip 1 purlwise. With yarn forward, slip again purlwise. Okay? Okay, row 2, knit with FC, purl with TC, repeat from asterisk to within 2 stitches of the end of the needle, and slip 1 with yarn back, slip 1 yarn forward. So it's the opposite. Okay? Now, I'm going to twist my FC yarn in back of the TC yarn. And the way to remember this is the background that's facing you is twisted to the back, okay? So this is in back of this one, okay? And I'm going to start with knit and mustard, purl with blue. Okay, these first two rows are just there to establish your background colors, and the reason why you do 2 rows is so that you end up on an odd row, because the chart starts on an odd row and things go a lot easier. Okay, I had to take back there because I realized that I was knitting and purling the wrong stitches. But anyway, okay, now I'm coming back to the last 2 stitches. Okay, with yarn and back, slip 1. With yarn forward, slip 1.